Hello, students. I welcome you to this YouTube channel, New General Mathematics, and I trust you are doing fine. You know what we always do here. Here we break down mathematics to the university level, as I promise. If you are just joining us, please. This is New General Mathematics, where we, study mathematics from the elementary stage to advanced level. And at this moment, we are on elementary stage. Remember to share, like, and comment so that others will get to know about it. If you have friends, you have children, you have students who are in their junior class in secondary school or their uh, senior class, recommend this channel to them. As I said, let us grow together. We are going to be doing it step by step in a way that we will understand. As I said the other time, we started with algebra. We supposed to begin to climb the ladder upward, but I decided to take a step back in order to refresh our memory. Last time we talked about fraction, and which we, you know, said a fraction is a way uh, representing a, a, a number of a whole. We represent a fraction of a number in a whole. So today we are still on that fraction, in another way, decimal. Another way, decimal, which is very, very, very important. Decimal is also a fraction, as you know that a fraction is representing a part of the whole number. But in this time, decimal are another way of writing fraction using a point called the decimal point. As you always see here, the decimals are another way of writing a fraction using a point. We may say, this is very cheap. This is elementary mathematics. Yes, indeed it is. It is very important that we refresh our memory as we begin to, because later, uh, we begin to dive into advanced topic so that we will not be carried away when we begin to use some terms. I want you to understand it properly because it is very, very important. Mathematics is step by step as we climb up. We make reference to even to the lowest elementary level, even where we are in advanced or further mathematics. But if you are not well rooted in this elementary, you will find it difficult to understand it. So let us look at the decimal. Decimal is equal to fraction written with a point. Example, you can see it there in fraction. As I say, it's a representation of a part of a whole number. Instead of writing 1 over 2, you will write 0.5. 0.5. That point is what we call decimal point. Instead of writing 1 over 4, we write 0. As you can see, we write 0. Instead of writing 1.4, we write 0.5. It is very important, and in decimal we talk about place value. This is very, very important. You need to know this. Place value. Place value are a place where, from the place where the decimal is located, then you count. It is very important that you understand this, because if you don't understand it, you don't know how to add or subtract, or how to work with decimal fraction. Now you can see, as you can see here, first number after decimal is equals to tenth, then second hundred. So you count it just like that, tenth, hundreds, and just that. Now example is like this 0.37. Now you don't call it 0.37, you call it 0.37. Now because this is definitely less than 1. Anytime you have a 0 point, whatsoever that is behind is less than 1. So you see that this first 3 now is tenth. Then the 7 is hundredths. So, and remember we talk about terms. These are terms. So it is very, very important that you understand this. Put it in mind. As I always said, always be with your pen and your paper as you put something down. They are very easy. As I said, we're going to be taking it step by step, and you will get to enjoy it and understand it more better. It is very, very important that you know that. Very, very, very important. But without that, will not be able to understand when we begin to go further. So now let us look at one or two examples. Let us look at one or two examples. Now we are going to do addition. Addition with uh, decimal point in regards to fraction. Add 0.2 plus 0.3. So now this is where the place value have to come to play. When you are adding this now, you must be careful of this point, because without this, you will never get the actual answer. This is two number now. There are times that you have multiple numbers behind after this point. You need to start from where the point uh, started so that you can be able to get it. Now, you see it now. We have this 0 plus 0 will give you 0. Then you now add 2.3, it will give you 5. So the answer now is 5. So it is very, very important that you know this. So we are going to move on to the next level. This one will also be very, very necessary. Let us look at example 2. Addition. We are seeing addition. Now, you see 0.45. As I said, don't say 0.45. In practice, we don't speak like that. This is 0.45 plus 0.25 is not 25 because it is less than 1. Now, let us align this decimal. They are very, very important. As I said before, we have 0 point, we have 0 point. Definitely, this number is at this moment they are less than 1. 0 plus 0 will give you 1. So now what you do here, first you add this 4.5, I mean 4.5 plus 2.5. Then 5 plus 5 is 10. Then you write 0, then remainder 1. You put that one in your memory so that you will not forget. Then you 2 plus 4, 6, then plus 1, because when you have tenth is 1. That's what we talk about place value that time. Is 1. Let me go back again. 5 plus 5 is 10. So since they are 10, you keep 1 and write the 0. Now, because they are less than 1 actually. Now, what you do again, 2 plus 4. Because now I am doing the addition. That's why you hear I mention 10. Don't be confused so that you will understand. It is because you take this 0 and this 0 away, then you do with these numbers 4, 5, and 2.5. So you add it just like 100 and unit. I know that I don't want to make mention of that because that one will now go down to primary 1. So I know that we have gone through that. Now 5 plus 5 will give you 10, then you hold 1, then you write down 0, then you take 2 plus 4 will give you 6, then that 10 is typically 1. You add it to that 6, it will give you 7. You now have 0.70. 0.70 is the answer. So I want you to understand this. They are very, very elementary and they are very, very simple and easy, but to refresh your memory because of where we are heading to. We started with algebra. And before we move further, I deem it fit and necessary that we should take a step back in order to refresh our memory so that we can just flow together. It is very good. Now let us go to next example, right? So let's see. We are going to do different thing entirely here. Subtraction. We have in decimal we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So we'll be doing that as we move on. But today, let us do this subtraction. Now we have 0.9 minus 0.4. As I always said here, 0 minus 0 will always give you 0. 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. Now we have 9 minus 4. 9 minus 4 will give you 5. 5. This is just the answer. You subtract them. So this is how uh, decimal point in fraction is being done. Know this, because when we it is good when we move on later, you are going to be seeing where a number will be falling into this range, into this perspective, so that you'll be able to handle it. Even when you do your subtraction and multiplication, you will see all this so that you know how to arrange them, refreshing your memory. It is very important. Okay. So now today we learned the decimal and how to add and subtract them. So tomorrow I hope we will be able to continue with percentage, as we are going to say. We are going to just point, do the summary. It is very important. So thank you for joining me today, and please remember to subscribe to New General Mathematics, share and comment so that others will get to know it. Thank you, and looking forward to see you next time.